Hey friends, welcome to our Utsuk YouTube channel. This is our part 25 video tutorial on Java programming. In this video tutorial, we're gonna discuss about the exception handling in Java. So let's begin with the content. At first, we're gonna discuss about the exception and we're gonna discuss about the exception handling in Java. So let's discuss what actually the exception means. An exception is an unwanted or unexpected event which occurs during the execution of a program, that is at runtime, that disrupts the normal flow of the program's instruction. So generally the exception means the unwanted or unexpected event that may occur during the programming runtime. Let us suppose that we have one integer as an a equals to 10 and another as b equals to 0. Now if we divide the integer a by b, that is a upon b, then generally in mathematical calculation also it's gonna give the error as mathematical error, and in the same concept in programming also it's gonna throw the exception here. So we need to handle this exception by ourselves so that the termination of the program doesn't affect the flow of the program. So let's see how JVM or Java Virtual Machine handles an exception. At first, the runtime system searches all the call stack, that is order list of the methods, to find the methods that throws the exception. And runtime system starts searching from method in which exception occurred block of the code that can handle the occurred exception, and it searches for the exception here. And if it finds appropriate handler, then it passes the occurred exception to it. If runtime system searches all the method on call stack and couldn't find the appropriate handler, then runtime system hand over the exception object to the default exception handler. So let's see how programmer handles an exception. So this defines how we need to handle the exception by ourselves. So if an error occurs, we can use try catch to catch the error and execute some code to handle it. We use the concept of try catch here in order to handle the exception. The try statement allows you to define a block of code to be tested for errors while it is being executed. So inside the try block, we will write the code that can throw the exception. And the catch statement allows you to define a block of code to be executed if an error occurs in the try block. So whenever the try block throws the error, the catch block gonna catch the error and handle the exception thrown by the try block. There is one another keyword as finally. The finally statement lets you execute code after try catch regardless of the result. So we use finally block if we want to execute some of the code to be executed after the try catch block. So these are the theoretical concept behind the exception handling. So in order to understand the exception handling in a practical way, let's move to the NetBeans IDE. So let's open our NetBeans IDE. Let's create one project. Next, practice _24. So let's remove out this comment. So let's rename out this class name as exception demo. Now at first let's see how JVM or Java Virtual Machine handles the exception. Let's create one string here as string str equals to, and I'm gonna define null string. So whenever we print out this value as str.length function, now if we run this program, it's gonna throw the exception saying that exception in thread main. So this gonna throw the exception as we have defined the string value as null and we are calculating the string length. So null value cannot be calculated by the length method. So it's gonna throw the exception here. So in this way Java Virtual Machine handles the exception at it's gonna say null pointer exception. Now let's try to handle the exception using try catch block. So before moving into the try catch block, so what if we didn't handle the exception here? Suppose if we try to print out the line here after exception, so this line never gonna be executed as exception occurs here and the program terminates. So this line will never be executed. So let's run this. As you can see, it's giving the null pointer exception and this line is not being executed here. Now let's handle this exception using the try catch block. So let's create one integer here as a equals to 10 upon 0. So here it's gonna throw the exception as divide by 0 exception. Let's see. Let's put this in a try catch, try block. So let's cut from here and paste it here. Now if we try to print the value as the value of a plus a, then catch the exception using the exception keyword and e as a variable. Now simply print the value of e. So if we run this program, we get the exception as arithmetic exception divide by 0. So as here we have handled the exception. Now if you print the value after the handling the exception, now this code gonna be run as we have handled the exception in try catch block. So it's gonna give the exception at first as by divide by 0 exception, and we're gonna get the output after exception here. So it's running the code after exception is occurred. So now let's create another exception also. At first let's comment out this. So let's create one integer variable as b. So it's gonna be array here, new, and let's give the size of array as 2. Now if you try to print out the value as the value of b, and if you print the index as b of 3, then it's gonna give the index out of bound exception. So whenever this exception occur, it's gonna throw to the catch block. So we can even create the multiple catch block here as catch, and we can specify the specific type of exception here like index out of bounds exception e again, and we can print simply the value of e here. So if you run this program, it's gonna give the array index out of bound exception, index 3 out of bounds for the length 2. As we have defined the array size as 2 here, but we are accessing the value of 3 index, so it's gonna give the index error. And after handling the exception, it's gonna run this after exception code of line. So if you don't know the exact exception name here like index out of bound exception, you can simply use the exception here like this also. It's gonna work fine for this as well. So if you run this program, it's gonna give same result as array index out of bound exception. So this exception also works here. And there is one another concept as finally block. Let's create here finally. Now if you print the value as here inside final block, now after the execution of try catch block, it's gonna move to the finally block and executes the final block codes of line. So let's run this. Here you can see it's giving array index out of bound exception at first in this line in try, and whenever it catches the exception, it prints the exception here. And after the execution of the try catch block, it's gonna move to the finally block and print the final block code, and after exception this one prints after the finally block is executed. So this is the main concept behind the exception handling in Java. So we can handle the exception, and I hope that you have understood what happens if we don't handle the exception, as it affects the flow of the program that is to be executed. So we need to handle the exception if occurred. So I hope that you have easily understood about the concept behind the try catch and finally block, and about the exception handling in Java. So guys, we have made more easier platform for you to access all the source code we have learned till date. Simply visit utsuk.com and you can move on to the courses tab here, and you can access all the programs related to Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python. And if you want to access the source code from here, go to the topic here, and you can access all the source code here along with the video tutorial side by side. And subscribe to our YouTube channel in order to get the latest update regarding the programming stuff. And if you want to start your journey with the programming, and create your own website. Even you can contact us. Click on Contact tab and send your name, email and contact details along with the message, and as soon as we get the message, we will respond to your message. So guys, we are nearly at the end of our Java basic tutorial part. So there will be one more session for Java basic tutorial, as I'm gonna provide some of the basic practice question for you so that you could practice on your own to understand the overall concept of Java basic tutorial part. And we're gonna solve some of the practice question in our next lecture video, and that will be our last video for Java basic tutorial. And after the completion of the Java basic tutorial, we're gonna move to the Java intermediate part. So I hope that you have understood the concept behind the exception handling in Java in today's session. So in next lecture video, we're gonna solve some of the practical question. So we will meet you in our next lecture video. Till then, goodbye.